Yeah, Friday morning.
What time do I leave?
You leave Friday like in the afternoon because you're getting there. You wanted to get there around 5 because you have to have that dinner. Remember?
Of course, I don't have to be there early for the dinner. Dinner's at 8:15 now, by the way.
Okay.
What time do I actually leave? You can start sharing it. It's up there. Share away.
I'll tell you when you just finish it. I have your clip here.
I'm gonna share on mine. It's on the Redcon one.
You leave at 3 p.m.
Okay.
on Friday.
Sweet. Boom, share it there. Hold on a second, guys, who are on there. All right. Boom. Okay. All right. People are loading up. You shared some?
Yep.
All right, everybody. Just giving it a minute for people to load up and start watching. Pulling it up here on the computer. There you go. Loading up. Oh. All right. So here we are again today. This is Tuesday, as it normally. We're doing this now pretty regularly. This is 3 times in a row, I think, right? Are we 3 in a row now?
I think it's the most consistent we've ever done it. So
yeah,
we're off to a good start.
Yeah, we're off to a good start. I think that's very important. Don't you think when you start a new habit, like when you're started training or dieting or whatever, you don't want to fuck up. You want to keep it going, streak as long as you can.
Yeah. Just like you said, like when you start a diet, like you always want to go as long as you can, like without that first mess up, you know, or whatever it be.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing. So, guys, before we get going, if you press the share button, it enters you for our contest to win a $100 gift certificate to Redcon 1. So hit the share button. It also helps us out a little bit because it lets you Facebook know that what you're watching right now, Dallas, is something that everybody should be watching, and we appreciate it. It's very important. This is a very important thing for you guys. So what we're doing is we are answering questions from you guys, the fans, Dallas's fans, the fans of Redcon 1. If I have any fans, and you're watching,
they don't waste any time.
Yeah, we're asking questions. We're loading up. So I appreciate you guys for coming. And any questions that you may have, we're willing to answer, whether it be personal, training, nutrition, professional, or business questions for me about Redcon 1, product questions. We're really willing to do and answer it all. Yeah, we didn't set everything up. Look, there's a little delay. We're willing to answer it all, guys. So hit us with your best shot. As far as an update, we're going to Dallas. Dallas is going to Dallas.
Yeah.
And I saw when Dallas actually came and worked out at the Redcon gym for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, made my first appearance.
Yeah.
Gym Redcon.
And you were a little disappointed because nobody told you that the big Dallas poster was gone.
Yeah, they took my poster down. It really hurt my feelings.
He came in and nobody told him. He was like, "Oh, the poster's gone." He sounded all disappointed.
But it's back. It's coming back.
So what's going on is Dallas and the big Dallas poster. It's actually going to be hanging from the wall at the Expo hall, which is going to be pretty fucking cool.
The poster, not me.
The poster.
I'm not hanging from the wall.
He's too heavy to hang from the wall. But he will be there on Saturday all day, pretty much. We'll probably get in, 11 or so on Saturday. I don't like to go early in the morning because, boy, it ends up being a long day. I hate to say that with Eric and Eduardo being there, but I usually go around 11, and then I'll stay till close. And we're only there, Dallas and I are actually only there on Saturdays, so we'll try to be there as much as we can.
Seems like it doesn't really pick up until like midday.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to. Few and far between. I find that like the most passionate people come through early in the day.
Yeah, because they know it gets quick.
Yeah, but other than that, like the big crowd's a little later.
Is there a Dallas Europa Men's Open or no? Do they have a Men's Open bodybuilding?
No, I do not. I don't think so. I don't think any of the Europa shows have.
They canceled them.
Have Men's Open anymore? Yeah. I don't think
that's a shame. They used to all have it.
All of them. So it was a lot of pro shows gone, but they've replaced a lot of them too with other shows. So
yeah, I think that's the one thing is, for a while there it was getting. It still is, I guess, getting really watered down, where there's a lot of shows.
Yeah, man, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know the promoters want guys to compete more, but I mean, let's just be honest. Like, you know, outside of the Arnold, the Olympia, New York, that's all I can really think of off the top of my head. There's not a lot of like.
Dallas Europa used to be one of the top ones.
Yeah. I mean, but what I'm saying is there's not a lot of actual prize money in it.
No, there's not a lot of prize money.
It's like these guys complain. They complain about who does the show, but it's like if you're not going to put out prize money and you know take care of the athletes, then it's hard to justify doing the show too.
Yeah, it's expensive to do the show. Very expensive. So
not to mention most of these guys, like myself included, can make more money when not in prep.
Right.
You know, doing guest appearances and other things than you can what little you make at a show like that.
And I think most sponsors are starting to become more like me, honestly, where they know that the actual competing, while it is important to do it and get your face out there, it's not imperative to being popular or successful in our industry.
Well, you know, if competing was everything, you know, a lot of guys that make great livings in the fitness industry wouldn't have done so.
Right.
First off, and then second off, a lot of guys that haven't came out so well, especially after their competitive careers, you know, would still be doing a lot better.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So another thing to consider too is that the show promoters, it costs $10,000 to do a show. That's the fee as a promoter to do a pro show, a men's pro show. That's just for that division. Each division has a different cost with it. So the 212 is cheaper, and like the bikini is even cheaper. And then last year, like classic physique and women's physique are free. So if you want to have them in your pro show, you don't have to pay the IFBB, you know, Jim Mannion, the president. Really? It's a free to do the show because they want to get it out there and have. That's why you saw so many of them. So as a promoter, like from a business perspective, if you got to pay $10,000 and you got to pay the prize money, then will it bring enough people to the seats, right?
Yeah.
So if you do a $50,000 prize, like that's even $50,000 when you spread it down the line is not a lot of money. So it's tough business-wise for it to make sense for everybody. So that's why you have some shows like the Arnold and Olympia. They get so many people at the show, but like I'm sure the Europa ones were probably losing money. And that's
I mean it's an expensive thing. I think the key is in the expos. You know, it's like you bring in a lot of money in the expos.
Yes, you
especially
can.
the Arnold and Olympia.
Oh yeah.
What the you know what the booths cost.
Oh man.
I mean, booth space plus tickets plus you know all the other.
They made millions of dollars just on the Arnold booths.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the tickets to the show. I'm not talking about anything else. But just the booths probably pays for everything else. Yeah. So, because people probably don't realize, but for the booths, you know, you're averaging the smallest booth is $5,000. That's the tiny 10 by 10. So if you see one like a big one like a BPI, more than likely they're spending over $200,000 for that booth.
Just for the space.
Just for the space.
It's like I remember like when I was with BSN, they used to literally put like, you know, $1 million. Into the booth. Like it would be $1 million booth.
Yeah, by the time you pay for
set up and all that.
It ends up being a lot of money. We had such a great booth this year. I mean, I was really, really proud of our booth. And what we did was we maximized the space.
Yeah. And I liked how we were actually away from the crowd, which enabled us to draw our own crowd and not have to fight. Yeah. You know, I would be okay with sticking to that plan.
That is what we're sticking to. Because that booth, and it really only cost us all in for all three companies to be in a row like that, all in $90,000.
Yeah,
everything all in, and it looked like a booth that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
People are like, "Wow, how did you guys come out that big?" It's because we planned it well.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the questions. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of questions. Everybody said hi to everybody. There's a lot of highs out there.
Good morning.
Nathan says, I don't know if you remember me, but I helped out at Body Power.
I do.
There you go. See?
Thank you.
Remembers you. Thank you very much again for that, Nathan. That was awesome. The tier operators.
Also, shout out and thanks to all the guys in Houston this past weekend.
Yes.
They all did a great job, worked very hard, and were very nice. So
really cool, right?
Yes.
Tier operators, so in case you guys don't know, tier operator is our affiliate, or really more like a extended family of Redcon. And you guys can find out what that's about or join if you're interested to be part of the team at tieroperator.com. Literally, just that's it, tieroperator.com. And you had like what, 2 or 3 worked.
I think there was 3 of the guys, yeah.
And they're hard workers, right?
Yeah, they really. I mean, they were out there in the heat all day.
Yeah.
And not like goof assing around, like they were really working. So it was impressive to see. So
that's super cool. I love that, man. Elias wants to know, he's trying to build his traps. Any advice?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, the traps have pretty much a simple function, and that's to elevate the shoulders. So anything that, requires that, a lot of things work the traps that aren't necessarily thought about, like a more upright bent over row. Obviously there's shrugs, dumbbell and barbell high pulls, or high rows as you would call them, whatever you want to call them. Things like that. I think a lot of times I see people trying to do shrugs and like they'll get like 5 or 6 plates on the bar and they just like do this like little jerking motion, which doesn't really do anything. And like I remember when I was first starting bodybuilding, like traps were one of the things I was like, man, I'd like to have like some big horse traps, like like a freaking bull, And Kevin had traps like that. Like when he competed. And if you watch Kevin do his shrugs, like even when he does very high weight, like he's very like deliberate on what he's doing. He actually rolls his shoulders back, which some people say is, bad for the shoulder, but nonetheless, like if you watch the manner in which he does them, they're very focused and not like
he's a human. He used to do behind the neck presses with 4 plates. Which is scary to do. And pull downs where he smack his back with the bar.
I mean, I still do the behind the neck presses. I haven't gone that heavy in a while, but I'm trying to get the shoulder back in line. This shoulder's giving me fits, man. It's getting there though. It's just it's like it's good, and then every time I fly, I fall asleep in the plane like this, and I wake up and it's out of line again.
You gotta be careful with that. I'll sleep on it wrong. I have a bad right shoulder.
Yeah.
And Dr. Nick will put it back, and then like 2 weeks later I have to go back or it's like fucked up again. I told him, I was like, how can you give me the trick so I don't have to come and see you anymore? He doesn't want to tell me that part, right?
If we can learn, we can just put each other back in.
No, I know. I told Eduardo he needs to watch what he's doing so I can like, fix me up, man. I told Deanna the same thing. I was like, you need to go learn how to do that. Mm-hmm. Save me a huge amount of time.
She helps me a lot too, because a lot of it's from tension. Like I said, like just bad posture. Everything's like coming around to the front. So I've been making a lot of effort to work on that. So
that's good. I've been doing. These guys may not know, but I've been running.
Right.
And so I've noticed that when I run, I'm not a natural runner by any means. I bring my traps up.
Like tense up.
Like I tense up when I'm running like this, and I go like that, and then after my traps and neck are sore from running, which is obviously I know you're supposed to be really loose when you run. Like you see the runners, their faces move all around. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as little as you can tense up, and as little as you can like require energy elsewhere.
Right.
You're gonna be able to expend more running.
Yeah.
It's just like when you lift, a lot of people, like, they watch me lift, and, like, it's funny because I posted that video yesterday, and I was pressing the 5 plates, and a lot of the comments were like, people, oh, man, those have got to be, like, fake plates because you just look how, like, calm and relaxed you look. But it's like, I don't think people realize it's just like running, like, this doesn't translate into, like, moving weight. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, like, if you're really focused on what you're doing, and just calm and relax everywhere else, it enables you to put like that much more effort, which could be minimal, but it could be another rep. You know what I'm saying? And it helps you breathe better and all that. So.
When you get like when you're going to do something really heavy, where it even makes you a little nervous to do it, do you get yourself like super hyped up, or do you try to like just calmly like focus on doing it?
No, I can't be like super hyped up or like mad about it. Like I gotta like my best lifts have come like when I laugh.
Yeah.
So like if it's something like. A lot of times I'll put on like music that I find like funny or just like fun.
Yeah.
Or I'll it's got to be like lighthearted. Like I can't be like dreading it because I get like this anxiety. Like if I go in and I'm gonna deadlift, like I'll never forget the time I tried to deadlift whatever it was, like 945 or something like that, and 900, 945, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. But like the whole time, like I was too serious, and like I got 800 for 2, and then I went to do it, and I just like I couldn't because I like worked myself up so much that
you hyped yourself up too much.
Yeah, and so I don't know, it gets in my head. So my best lifts, my best lifts have come on days when like I don't premeditate it. When I'm just like on the way to the gym, I'm like, man, I think I'll lift heavy today if I feel like it. That's the thing is I never try to pressure myself into training heavy. Like if I get there and it feels good, like I'll keep going up in weight. But the minute I hit a weight where I was like, man, that like hurt, or it hurt a joint, or something didn't feel right, or it just felt like stiff, then I'm like, okay, that's good for today. You know?
All the injuries that I've had in the gym, I've had a premonition to stop and didn't do it. Every injury I've ever had.
Yeah,
But I'll be like, I'll do something like back in the day when I was much stronger. When I was doing incline, I'd do 315 warming up to a heavier set, and I'd be like, oh, it didn't feel right, and I'd be like, oh, let's do a 25, and then I shouldn't have. And I knew in my head that I could probably stop now and be smart, and every time I had some warning.
I'm a big believer in that. Like, I know many people that have had bad injuries, quad tears, pec tears, whatever, and they're like, before I did it, like, I didn't feel right about it. And that's why, like, and I've even, like, come as far as, like, putting weight on the bar, like, during a squat one time, I'll never forget, put weight, like, on the bar, get under the bar, feel great, pick it up, and, like, something in my head's just, like, it's not right. And, like, I'll rack it and just be like, no, we'll go back down for another set.
Yeah. And that's why you haven't had any injuries like that.
Yeah, it's not worth it, though.
Right. No, not in the scheme of things. What's one day of lifting? It doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
In reality, like, if you do 10 reps with, 600 or 5 reps with 700, you're still getting the work done. It's just.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, let's see what else we got here. Matt says he had a blast in Houston and can't wait for Dallas this weekend. One of our operators.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for doing that. Jesse says he can't wait to work with us in Corpus Christi. I'll actually be there too. All the operators coming out. It's really cool. Nathan DaCosta wants to know, Dallas, what weight are you hanging at now? And is your health back on track now?
Yeah. I woke up at I'm waking up at like 320, 325. And I'd say my health is like really, really good actually. I feel great. Everything's good.
Seems like you're better than you've ever been.
Yeah.
As far as I know you.
Yeah, I'm healthy and mentally I'm in a good spot, working hard. Like I said, the only thing that's really bothering me is just like little aches and pains, and that's, I find that really, to be honest with you, the aches and pains correlate, unfortunately, with life stress and travel more so than I think they do training, and that's just the name of the game, like, and I think that's another thing we're talking about, like never doing anything that like you don't feel comfortable with, and it's like that's the reason I'm not putting out a lot of like the crazy lifts like you guys have seen. Like obviously I'm still lifting hard, I'm lifting heavy, but it's more like direct focus things or whatever, because at the end of the day, I know so many people that have hurt themselves like just off a plane. Like ultimately, that's what ended Ronnie's career, was he tore a lat, when he was overseas training heavy. And
Ronnie used to train heavy everywhere.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just one of those things where it's like, if you can get the job done and be a little safer, for me, that's ideal right now. Plus, the whole point of this was to give my body a bit of a break. So it's like, if I'm deadlifting 1,000 pounds now, what am I going to do like 10 weeks out?
Right.
Like I'm going to be beat to shit again and hating it again. So for me, it's about continuing to progress, continuing to like, stay healthy and stay fresh, and like I'm just really loving it right now. Like I love going to the gym. I don't feel any pressure.
You've been training twice a day.
Yeah. I've been training twice a day. Just loving going to the gym, loving training, just trying to like enjoy it again. So some days I lift heavier than others, and some days like it's just more about getting it done.
Let's see. Any release?
So many.
I know. Any release date? Don wants to know any release date on the 5-pound isotope. It is coming, Don. We just haven't.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, people like you go through them so fucking fast.
People like you that take 6 scoops a day.
Yeah, so it's funny because realistically, if you're taking isotope right, it's really not even. It's a half-month supply. Minimum for Dallas. It's a 5-day supply.
Like seriously, there's been days where I take 9 scoops.
Yeah, so
might be a little much, but still.
But for these guys, many of them could easily do this in 15 days or less.
Oh yeah.
So basically, we wanted to make sure that isotope got to a level of popularity that would support a larger size. Because if we can't sell the 2-pounders, how the hell are we going to sell 5-pounders?
How are the new sample? They're
going good. Going really good. So we have 2 new flavors. Oh yeah, she loves them. So we have the mint chocolate chip, and we have chocolate vanilla, chocolate peanut butter, and then those 2 new ones. And it's finally starting to really pick up. Protein is a tough game to get into because there's not a lot of margin in it. You can't make a lot of money on it. And if you want to make a really high quality product, then you can make even less money on it.
Yeah.
So you have to really.
You got an athlete that insists on having a way isolate.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. He fucked us. So, the product is selling very well, and we will have a blend coming out very soon. I would tell you the name and tell you more about it, but I don't think Eduardo trademarked it yet. So,
but I'd have to get it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Isotope is I honestly believe it's the best protein on the market because it combines a good price point with blending well, tasting great, and absorbing well. I mean, most people like me, I can't even take a blend because it'll honestly give me diarrhea.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can drink this and not have any problem, it tells you.
It was my first time trying the cake batter last night.
What'd you think?
And I liked it a lot. I take sometimes for like my last meal instead if I don't feel like cooking eggs, I'll do like a big thing of like non-fat Greek yogurt.
Yeah, and throw it in there.
And then I just like put a scoop in it and mix it together.
That's
it makes, and then you can like put it in the freezer and makes like
Gary L does
ice cream.
every night. She does that with peanut butter in it, like a little tiny one.
That's exactly what I did last night.
She blends it up.
But I tried it before I put the peanut butter in it, and it tastes so good that I didn't want to put the peanut butter in it, so I ate the peanut butter off the spoon and then ate it separate because I didn't want to mess it up.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's really good. Haven't ventured out into the mint chocolate though.
It's better than you would think. I'm not a mint chocolate person, and
I just love the chocolate peanut butter. It's just it's seriously the best tasting protein I've ever had.
Yeah, that's awesome. Damian Allen, any word on the polos? I need to order mine for more breach today. Let me ask right now. Hey, Luke! Here he comes. The people on here want to know what's the story with the polos.
That's a great question.
You don't know?
No, because it's supposed to be on the site, but I think she got so tied up with everything else that she just hasn't put them on yet.
Ah, okay, because people on the live
So
chat.
they're ready. They just
Yeah, they're ready. We have them.
Oh,
I
okay.
leaked the photo of them.
Okay. Can you tell her that Aaron said please get them on the site as soon as possible because they're all asking about them.
You got it.
Okay, cool. All right, so there you go. There you go. Live, you find out the answer. That's usually how I do things. I just yell for the person, and they come in and I ask the question, and that's how we get shit done over here.
So it gets shut.
It's the truth.
A little yelling.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
Yep. What's the plan for the 2017 Olympia? Are you talking about Dallas or us? Oh, no, Dallas. What's the plan? Dallas' plan for the 2017 Olympia is to work the booth.
Yeah, I'm going to be hanging out and working the booth, and there's probably going to be an after party somewhere. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys want me to say.
Yeah.
I'm not competing. Me and Aaron will probably hit up a buffet.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
It'll be probably my last. Hopefully, it'll be my last hoorah in Vegas for a few years, anyways.
Yeah.
If everything goes as planned. I'm dreading not doing the show, and will it
be sad for you to sit in that?
It's gonna suck.
Will you watch it or you're not going to go?
Yeah, I'll probably go with you.
Yeah.
I'll go with you and Daryl and stuff and hang out. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna suck like really, really bad. Like last week, I was actually texting, and I was like, okay, so how far? Like I know Tampa's like, right before, and I was like, so how far away from Tampa?
Actually, Daryl's not going to go, so you and me can. I have 2 VIP tickets I already got, so you're set. Sorry to interrupt. I was just thinking about that.
That works even better. Yeah. But yeah, so I was even last week like. At least once a week, I have to talk myself out of trying to make a run for the Olympia. Like for the last 4 weeks.
Really?
Like I really want to do it, and I'll get like all excited, and then I'll be like, no, don't. And then I went as far as started mapping out a prep plan the other day, and I was like, no, seriously, chill out.
You have to calm yourself down. What is the points look like? You're not even. Are you gonna make it on the points?
No.
You don't. Okay. So. Good. You need to chill out. By the way, this is your guy. You need to reach out to him. I forgot to give this to you. That's for your suit, for your jacket for the Olympia.
Yes, we definitely need to do that.
You need to get him in here. That would be great to get him to film.
Yeah.
This is Mark Goldman for a little plug. I haven't even seen my jacket yet, so hate to give him a plug yet, but he's going to come in here and hook Dallas up with a really cool, unique custom suit. Well, it'll be as unique as you want. You get to pick the pattern and pick the style and how you want it all done.
Yeah, we'll get with him.
If you see any that you like, screenshot it and save it so you can show them the ones you think are cool.
Yeah.
The Rock always wears cool suits. So if you see something The Rock wears, he's got everything. So, all right. So when you see Dallas at the Olympia after party, he's going to be
looking
decked
all
out.
fly.
He's going to be decked out.
One of your heads watches.
Yeah, there you go. That would be cool. I'd have to like expand them for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Leroy's going to be there this weekend too, and Leroy was with you.
Yeah.
I know he's a hard worker.
He is.
Joel says, I was interested in tips on how to select a vendor for your shirts and other materials you have, if you have any suggested vendors. To be honest, we have a guy that we work with here that brings samples, and we try them on, check them out, like the shirt that Dallas is wearing right here, the OYE shirt, OYE shirt. I can't help myself, that's what we all say. And so he checks it out, and like for this, you tried it on, looked at the material, and liked it, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's any particular, we don't stick to one vendor. Like this shirt I think is next level, but I don't think that we stay true to one specific one.
He brings stuff from companies, I mean, Next Level is obviously a big name, that a lot of people use, but some of the stuff we come up with I've never even heard of, but
no, they have those,
it's great.
The custom one in California that custom cuts them and everything. So he definitely comes up with stuff that we wouldn't.
You won't
think
find tank tops as cool as ours.
No, they're the best. They're the best.
The new ones, yeah.
Do you see the new one, the one with the black one? That's super cool.
It's the same cut as the new
I love that.
OYE ones.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So I was telling Eduardo that most tank tops you find these days suck.
Yeah.
They're not long in the back. They're not like this new style.
It's not really. They're not really tank tops. They're like jersey cuts.
Either jersey or wife beater. Those are the two that are out there. So this was like an actual tank top, like a bodybuilder tank top, which is super rare to find.
And we're anti-wife beater here.
Yeah, anti-wife beater. Let's see. Wait a minute. This is Brittany is saying. Hold on. Wait a minute, I've seen Dallas get ready to do an insane lift, and he hits his head on the bar to get ready, and he started bleeding because he hit it so hard.
But I was laughing.
You were still laughing?
But I was still laughing. Yeah, okay, yeah, she's right. I've done that probably 5 or 6 times in my career.
So you do get angry sometimes.
Well, it's more of a funny thing is, like, I'll yell at the bar and headbutt it, but yeah, I mean, but it's still like laughing.
Yeah.
We got a really cool video of me doing a T-bar row, and I headbutt the plate, and I start going, and like it looks like halfway through, like my nose starts gushing blood, but really it's like coming from right here, and blood's just like pouring out.
And you keep doing it?
Yeah, and I'm I do like 10 reps. It's really cool.
Oh my God. This is an interesting question. Martin Verstige wants, I'm sorry for mispronouncing that, Martin. Do you ever feel like you've grown big enough? Do you ever look at yourself and be like, I'm big enough. I don't need to be any bigger?
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like now, I mean, my goal isn't, I'm not really trying to put on weight, I mean, I'm okay with the weight I'm at. Obviously, I could be, like, rounder and, like, more developed or, like, a little fuller, a little leaner or whatever. Like, body composition should change, but, like, overall from a mass standpoint, like, maybe a few pounds on my back and like other select areas, but I mean, I'm really not trying to.
So you don't look at yourself and like, I need to be bigger. I'm not big enough.
No, I really don't. I mean, now I look at myself and I'm just like, okay, we need to fill in here, like work on this. Like I see holes, but I don't see just like where when I used to, like, oh man, I'm just a shrimp. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I've stood on stage with the best in the world, and I see where I stack up, and like. Some shots I beat guys that are much better bodybuilders than me, and it's just a fact. And then some shots, like, they obliterate me, and it's like, and that's.
But nobody ever says, "Oh, Dallas is too small."
I don't think I got outmassed by anybody.
No. Even Big Ramy, who is obviously humongous, I don't think that he presents bigger on stage. I think that you guys are, and he's the biggest, right? And they're just as big as him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's shorter and his stature's smaller, so it's like.
Yeah, it's and I remember watching the Olympia and like. Dennis Wolf would be, he's like the same height as me. And I remember they'd always say, like, he only weighed like 270 on stage. Yeah. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. But you think about, like, his height compared to the other guys, and if he's only 15 pounds heavier than Phil, but he's like, 5 inches taller, like, that transpires into like a much.
It would be interesting. You've never stood on stage next to Dennis Wolf, so it'll be interesting when that one day happens.
It'll happen at the Arnold.
Yeah, it'll happen at the Arnold. I think you're going to make him look skinny. Just kidding.
It'll be an honor. He's like the all-time idol for me. So, I mean,
Brittany says she's not a mint chocolate chip person, but she loves it, so you got to give it a shot. Give it a shot. Neither am I. So, Nathan says, are there any thoughts on putting the amino acid profile on isotope? No, honestly, Nathan, I hadn't thought about it. It's a whey isolate from. It doesn't have an amino acid breakdown though. It's from Milk Specialties, which is the best. Oh, it does right here. It does.
100 grams.
This is on the newer label. Yeah, the newer label does have it. Jeez, I don't even know what I'm talking about my own. So if you look at cake batter, it does have the breakdown. So there you go.
Right
there.
here. So
I don't think that it has that on the old ones, does it? That's the new one too. I have to see an old one, but the new ones do have it.
Yeah.
You think we might have?
I was actually reading that last night. As long as I know, because I was curious.
I think that it might be required based on some of the new vendors we're getting to have that on there. So
yeah.
You notice the label is different too. See, it's got 100 gram servings. Which
These are much easier to read.
Yeah.
They're much cleaner looking.
Yeah.
I like these.
We've been improving. You guys probably don't notice from a consumer standpoint, but the labels have went through many generations now.
The beginning. We don't even have any.
No, I got rid of them. I didn't want them on the desk anymore. Yeah. Oh, here's an original one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big difference.
See.
There's a lot of little points in here too.
Yeah, you can. I don't know. It's hard for them to see probably, but it's really cool. I notice all those things.
Yeah, all the little stuff. Look how hard it's to read it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because when you put that stuff on the colors on the computer screen, it's like illuminated. Lit.
I mean, boom.
Yeah.
Sit that on the shelf. That's a fucking. This one I don't like either. The label's not the right size.
Yeah, they messed it up, right?
Yep. But yeah, that's an old one. I mean, that's a pretty big difference, and this is
for sure
a different version than what we have now. Anyway, all right. Let's see. If no Olympia, when is Dallas' next show?
Arnold. 2018.
That's it, guys.
Mark your calendars.
Nathan wants to know, is there any more new OIE stuff coming out?
Yes.
A bunch.
Yes, so let's see. So far, we've dropped 2 new shirts. We dropped a red V-neck, a black V-neck, or a red V-neck, a black normal T-shirt. We got a thin hoodie that zips up, which is freaking cool. Can't wait to get some in Dallas sizes. We got coming at you 2. I believe there's going to be 2 sweatshirts too coming, and there's the new hat, and then there's a possibility of some shorts if we can find something to fit my big ass.
Yep.
So
there's a lot of new stuff.
Lots of stuff. Yeah. Check. I'll post it as it comes out, obviously, but if you go to the site now, odds are there's something that you didn't know was there because we're adding stuff every day. It seems like this week.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming to the site in general. One big thing that I don't think is getting enough press that I'll mention here because we've got a bunch of people watching and then people will watch later. There's an opportunity, Dallas, for some lucky young lady or man to win $20,000 cash. I don't know if people are realizing that's a lot of freaking money. Yeah. I mean, $10,000 was a lot, but $20,000 is can be life changing for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna enter it, but no employees.
No employees.
They didn't say no athletes.
Dallas is like
technically an employee.
That's twice as much as the Dallas Europa, right?
It was twice as much as I made winning my first 2 pro shows.
Yeah, there you go. It's the same as winning 2, right?
The same as, but I mean,
together,
they were $10,000 to win those. I mean, I guarantee you a transformation would cost me a lot less money. Yeah,
you would have definitely won. You would have definitely. How funny would that have been if you entered the transformation contest? Like if we weren't affiliated and you're just like, damn, like years ago, I could win that shit. Yeah. But anybody can, as long as you're not an employee, anybody can enter. And it's a transformation contest, which you have the next week basically to enter.
So I got a question: do the people that win, do they have any kind of? Is there what's his name? Miles that won?
Yeah, Miles.
So is he like an athlete or an affiliate of ours or anything from now on?
No, I mean if he wants to be, but he didn't reach out for that.
Yeah.
He's taking his money and using it to go to engineering school to pay for his engineering school. So
good for him.
I'm happy for him. He's a really nice guy.
He made a life-changing, healthy decision.
Yes,
and he got $10,000 to go towards a life-changing degree.
Yeah,
so.
I was really happy to give him. I had no idea until he was here that that's what he was using the money for. And it made me feel really good. Because me, at his age, I would have used it to get drugs and party and be stupid. That's what I would have done.
I would have spent it before I left Florida.
Yeah, he would have. So he was doing something really good with it, and it made me feel good about it. So the next $20,000, we doubled up, $20,000 challenge. And basically, it's a 6-week challenge. So I kind of feel like you can do anything for 6 weeks. Like me personally, I could drink water and eat chicken and do cardio 2 hours a day for 6 weeks if I had to, if I felt like it was life or death.
For $20,000.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to change your life. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's waiting for an opportunity like this to make a huge change. So if you don't know about it already, definitely check out on the website the readiness trials. This is the summer trials.
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, now you know. So I hope we get a lot of people to sign up. I think right now it's a little less than we would expected. So I think it's time to bump up the advertisement to let people get in on this thing. It's too big a deal.
Also, the finalists get to come down here and get a workout with me and Joe. You can ask the last guys. It's a pretty good workout. You'll probably take something away that'll help you in the future.
Yep.
And I'm thinking we should do something else. Like, I'm thinking we should, like, make it even more cool.
Send them to go do water slides or some shit.
Like a
do
photo
something.
shoot.
Photo shoot? Yeah.
Photo shoot.
Put a picture of your magazine in MD or something. I could pay for them to get do something cool.
Make them an athlete.
Make them an athlete. Yeah. It's a good idea.
Something. Make them
Put
an
them
athlete.
make them a
like, not a, I mean.
what do we call it? We could make them
elite athlete.
a tier 2.
Yeah.
A tier 2 athlete. Offer them there's a lot of stuff we could do. That's a good idea. And maybe we'll add that onto it. All right.
We're just giving shit away.
You're just giving stuff. You're just like, give them some more. Give them some more. But you guys could go sign up for that right now. There's some rules on how you do it. Your picture, sending in your before pictures, entering in the contest. I'm very excited about it. I know it's going to be really great, and I want it to be even bigger because we're giving away twice as much money. So that's the idea. We had 240 people sign up last time, so I feel like half of those people are not serious, right? So it's 120 people that are serious. Probably half of those people didn't even finish it. So it means you only had 60 people that went all in and finished the thing. And I think if you were totally dedicated and very serious, you're probably in the top 20% of those people. So you're talking about just a few.
So if they didn't enter last time, if they entered last time, can they enter this time?
You can enter again.
Oh, if you were smart, you just eat, blow up a little bit, and then enter it again.
I think there are people that are, I'm sure, would think that you're doing
It's
that.
really that easy. Like, I would just eat like shit for like 6 weeks, and then tone it down for 6 weeks, and I'd win.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if they haven't already thought about that, it may be too late now. But I'll tell you what, if this thing is successful, then we're going to go bigger again. So if you
We're gonna give away a house.
my goal is to do one of these a year from now and give away $100,000. That's the goal. Not obviously we got to build up to that. We're not at a place where the business can do that now. Then get $100,000, you're like, I quit. I'm gonna. But I think I'm gonna. That's the goal. My personal goal is by this time next year to do one for $100,000. So. Because I don't actually, so you guys know, I'm not trying to make money off of this. If we can even break even, I'll feel fantastic about it because we're building the name of the company and we're helping people and making changes in people's lives. So it's not a money-making thing. With 240 people, we did not make any money whatsoever. And obviously we're doubling. So if we have 500 people now, it's not going to make any money. And that's okay because we're spreading the good word and helping people make changes in their lives. And I'm sure that will help in the long run.
It's bigger than money.
Yeah, it's bigger than money. Okay. Guys, we're going to end in about 10 minutes. I'm going to let you do it for a second, so I have to use the bathroom so bad. I can't wait. So why don't you start? I don't know. You pick one. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry, guys. This is real life. There's no editing. I actually have to go.
Real life stuff. So I get to take over the captain's chair, and here we are. Okay. So now that he's gone, let's talk about stuff that I want to talk about. Have you ever thought about competing in powerlifting? Yes, but no, because I don't think that really I would enjoy it as much. A photo shoot, you're a genius. Yes, I like to think I am, William. Brittany, that's a good idea about the significant other. See if I can find some questions that I actually... Would Dallas ever try metabolic conditioning training metcons to shock his body, or do it even just for some cool content and experience getting out of the usual bodybuilding training? No. I'm a bodybuilder, not a lab rat. What muscle group is your main focus to improve? Back. Yes, we'll be at the Europa this weekend. The red OA shirt is fire. Best piece of clothing. Thank you. Aaron's going to take over Redcon again. I should lock him out of his computer. What supplement from Redcon would you recommend for a middle-of-the-road lifter? I mean, honestly, anyone, is going to do good for you. There's probably... Like, if you're just starting this or middle of the road or whatever you want to call it, there's probably like a order of like priority. Obviously you want to have a diet, you want to have training, then you want to have like, your wellness supplements. Then you can go into maybe like a protein, a pre-workout, branched chains, fat burners, things like that. I mean, there's really not one supplement that I would recommend. It's really just whatever your goals are and, whatever you're lacking, find something that accordingly works for that. It's really hard without Aaron. It's like awkward. Like I feel like I'm just talking to a computer. I don't like it as much. But he left me here while he goes and takes a deuce. So, do you think swimming is okay as cardio when bodybuilding? Sure, why not? Swimming's great cardio. I'm a terrible swimmer. I can swim from like the deep end to the shallow end.
You're too heavy.
Yeah, I sink. Yeah,
You keep the captain's chair. I'll sit over here.
Yeah. So he's back.
I'm the co-host now.
Come back to Chattanooga and let's work out at the Grid House. I will have to come train at the Grid House sometime. I'd love to bring a camera guy up there and train. You like the Grid House a lot.
Didn't I go there? I went somewhere.
No, you went to Maxed Out. That's a great gym too, though.
Great House is Brittany and
that's what I train.
Yeah. Isn't he the manager there, or does he just work there? Or?
Honestly, I don't know. They're all very good friends with the owner and stuff.
He's the one who got them to take supplements, so I assume.
I know he's got. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got
Maybe he just
something to
influenced
do.
them,
Yeah,
so.
honestly, I couldn't tell you, but like I said, they're great people. The owners are Nate and Donnell King. They're good people, and yeah, it's a really cool gym. I miss training there a lot. What's your caloric intake looking right now in all season? Honestly, man, I'm probably like hovering around 6,000 calories a day.
You're not counting them right now, right?
Not really, no. I mean, that's a very rough estimate. I would say 5,000 to 6,000 a day. I'm not really pushing food like.
If you tried to eat as much as you could, what do you think you could put down on a regular basis?
Like clean?
Whatever. No, I mean, I don't mean like candy bars and ice cream and stuff. But like when I tried to gain weight, I think people underestimate or overestimate what they're eating because I ate clean and I ate like 5,000 calories a day, and it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
So when I hear people say I eat 10,000 calories a day, I'm like, I think that they don't know what they're talking about.
I think a lot of times when people say I ate 10,000 calories a day, I think they're full of shit.
Unless you're eating junk food. I mean, if you eat ice cream and candy. And,
one time me and Matt had me up pretty high. Like 8,000-9,000 probably. Lots of fats. And then I was eating like pre and post workout. I'd have like Rice Krispie treats or like bagels with like jam on them. And
still a lot of that. I mean, that's a lot of bagels and jam to eat. People don't really realize how much 10,000 calories of even relatively clean food is.
It's a lot, man. I mean,
if you're eating fucking donuts and shit like ice cream and donuts, it's still a lot, but that's super calorically dense.
The thing I found that's working for me so great this time around is like I don't push the food. So like every day I eat, but I eat just until I'm comfortable, and it's helping with my midsection a lot. I don't know if you noticed yesterday when I was training, but I feel like my midsection's improving a lot, and it's due to several things, but that too is. So I don't really push the food. I just kind of like eat, and then I'm comfortable. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I kind of have that planned out, like each meal. Like I know how much that's going to be each meal.
So you don't ever force anything?
Not really, no. But like, every probably 3 to 4 days, I'll be like, okay, like, let's like kick it up a notch. So I have like a pint of Ben & Jerry's, or, a piece of cake, or, a burger, or some. Actually, not a burger. I haven't ate a burger, and I can tell you how long.
Yeah.
I always say I want a burger, and then it comes time to order it, and I'm like, no, I'd rather have something else. But yeah, I mean, just stuff like that. Like, And that's actually, give credit where it's due. Something I kind of picked up from Flex is like, when I watch Flex, like, he's just kind of like, which we're different ends of the spectrum, kind of, but he just kind of has the same set diet.
He has the force food. He can't eat. He's
and then like 1 or 2 days a week, he'll just have like, he gets food down. And it's interesting how your body works. Like I can eat really big for like one day. Like if I put in like a few meals I shouldn't have, or maybe even 1 or 2 meals I shouldn't have, like really dense meals, and that'll fill me up and blow me out, and that would carry me over for like 3 or 4 days, of hard training.
No.
And then when I see myself starting to fade again, that's when I know it's like, okay, let's take an off day and like eat or just like rest or whatever,
Yeah, he's Flex is forcing it. I mean, I remember when, I don't know if it was last Olympia or the Olympia before, when we were hanging out after, and I was like, do you want to eat this, whatever? He's like, to be honest, I'm only eating once a day right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, geez, really? You can eat whatever you want now? And he's like, yeah, I'm not hungry at all. I'm like the opposite.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, man. It's like we're on other ends of the spectrum where it's like he's never hungry. I'm like a bottomless pit. Like I can eat like every hour.
I've seen you eat $200 in sushi, no problem.
Yeah, I can eat a lot. I can eat a lot of food. Big eater.
What else you got?
How many hours of sleep do you try to get for recovery? That's one thing actually I was talking to Ashley about the other days. I feel like I haven't been getting much sleep in because I'm not a big sleeper. Like I can only sleep so long at a time, and I think it's due to like I just get like uncomfortable and stiff lying there. So what I try to do is like I normally go to bed around like between 11 and 12 at night, and I'll sleep till like 6:30, and then I'll get up. And then if I train twice a day, I think it's very beneficial to get like a minor nap in between,
Yeah.
Very beneficial for me.
You're not a big sleeper though. You're usually up at the same time I am.
Yeah.
Usually up around 6 or so. 6:30.
Yeah, I might go to bed a little earlier some days, but yeah, I'm not a tremendous sleeper. Like I know a lot of bodybuilders like could fall asleep walking.
Oh yeah.
I'm not that way.
You don't have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
I think my quality of sleep's better than a lot of bodybuilders because I've been big all my life.
Yeah.
So it's like when I fall asleep, like I actually get decent sleep.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Like I've talked to a bunch of guys. I remember Fuad Abiyah was telling me that he has such bad. I mean, he probably has a sleep apnea machine now, but back then he was saying that he would sleep for 12 hours, but he would never feel rested.
Yeah, that's not good.
Tired.
That's not good. Yeah.
And I think he ended up having sleep apnea and getting a machine or something. But a lot of big guys are not meant to be big.
Right.
So like if you're 280 pounds, well, you're meant to be 150 pounds. Your body is going to have problems.
Fight yourself.
Yeah, you're fighting yourself. You are meant to be. In actuality, interesting point for people out there is that Dallas doesn't have like the kind of like labored breathing and the kind of like where you seem uncomfortable all the time. Like a lot of guys that I've met that are 300 plus pounds, I've met a lot of them. Feel like looks like it's tough to be them. I always think about Greg Kovacs. I met Greg when I was 18 and I watched him work out and stuff, and he seemed to be breathing harder and sweating harder when he was just standing around than I do when I work out.
Right.
He was like, and his wife was fanning him and shit, and he hadn't even started working out yet.
Yeah, and I think that's what people don't realize is they're like, how'd you get so big so quick? And it's like, it's not happened just so quick. It's been a lifelong process. When I graduated high school, I was like 280 pounds.
Right.
Now I was not 280 pounds and ripped, but I was a big guy.
You're meant to be big.
Play college football, and it's like, I mean, there's people in my family that are significantly larger framed human beings than I, and it's just, some of us just have it, and others have to fight a little harder for it. Whereas my struggle on the other side is like more like my thing is like, because I've grown so fast, it's more like muscle maturity, density, lines, all that, which is coming in. But we all have our battles, and just because one person is naturally a larger bodybuilder might not make him a better bodybuilder, and vice versa,
Do you think that if you didn't train, like if you weren't into bodybuilding, do you think you'd be like a big old fat dude, or you think you'd be like, what do you think you're natural? Because I know for me, if I didn't train, I'd be very skinny. I'd be tall and skinny.
I don't think I'd be fat, no, because
You'd be a hefty dude.
Yeah, because I don't think my appetite would be the same. Like when I don't train like I train, when I don't train like I'm training now, like my appetite, when I took the off time, like I was only eating like 2 times a day.
But do you think like if you didn't train ever, if you had never trained, you'd still be like 260 pound guy. You'd not be. I
don't think I would. I don't think I'd be below 250.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
225, 250. No, I mean
you were when you first came on the scene when you were 20 years old?
Yeah.
You were still competing at 240 or 250.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Which is something that somebody like me, it would take me a tremendous amount of work, and I've been training since I was 12.
Right.
To be on stage at 250. I mean, not even be able to be possible. I don't know, but it would take a lot of work. And you did that when you just started. Like, you're like, hey, let me give this a shot. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's like I said, like we all have our individual struggles, and that's why what I love about this sport is it's so different for everybody else. Like, I can train twice a day because, I mean, let's just face it, like, I'm not fighting tremendously hard to keep the weight I have. Like, I just kind of weigh this much, Right. Whereas, like, most people could not eat and sleep enough to weigh this much and train the way I do twice a day.
Yeah.
So it's like, just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you,
Right. Imagine
if you're naturally
it's impossible for me to be 320 pounds.
Right. And if you're naturally, like, that's, I don't give a shit what you take or what you do.
No,
I mean, it's just not going to be in the cards. Yeah. And it's like, you take somebody like Dorian. Like, Dorian was probably a naturally, like, more lean person.
Yeah.
I believe he was like a soccer, rugby player. So
he was shredded when he was a teenager.
Probably a pretty lean guy. And, like, he found that he had to train, he can only train 4 or 5 days a week, but, like, all-out intensity.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can only do it for so long because otherwise he was just fighting himself and he wasn't giving his body time to rest and grow. Whereas me, it's like, I can beat the shit out of myself and I'm just going to,
Yeah, you're
right
built
here.
for that.
Yeah.
You're right. Dorian is a good example. It was HIIT training where he would do 4 days a week for like 30 minutes, some of the training sessions, where you do one serious working set. I had his first book, the original Blood and Guts book.
Yeah, I've still got the first. I got the first video.
Yeah,
on DVD.
In reality, what a terrible video. But at the time, that was like life changing.
Yeah,
you're watching it and be like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah,
because I got that when I was like 16.
The first time I saw it, I remember I was just like, every time I went to the gym, I was like, all right, this is how we train. Like everything Dorian did, like that's exactly how we did it.
Yep. What else we got? We're gonna, just so you guys know, we got about 5 minutes left, so we'll run through them kind of quick if we can.
See Redcon going into meal prep service in the future? Probably not.
No, I don't know. The one thing I found is that people make mistakes when they go too far out of their comfort zone. So we are really, really good at what we do. I like to think that we are at least we're going to be the best in the world. That's the plan, right? So if you're going to be the best in the world at nutritional supplements and what we're doing here now, which is entertainment, education, having fun, then I think that that's enough. And I think people make mistakes in business when they start to veer out of their lane. Where I say, I'm going to do a meal prep service. We're going to call it Redcon Meal Prep, and then I'm going to do this and this and other thing. And a lot of times, just because you're good at one thing doesn't necessarily going to be like Dallas is a fantastic bodybuilder. Would he be a great runner? Maybe not. Maybe he would, but maybe not.
Probably not. You seen these calves? They're not good for distance.
Yeah. You're a good athlete, though. You'd probably be able to do more than you. I told you, whenever you're ready, I'm bringing you out on the track.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when I ran my conditioning
probably
test,
faster than me. I wouldn't be shocked.
When I ran my conditioning test, everybody was amazed that I ran it in the time I did at college.
I really honestly would not be shocked if you beat me in a short race. I could see you being pretty
fast. I'm pretty good. I mean, in 50 yards, like I'm probably about as fast as any 300-pound guy.
Yeah.
All right. Please answer this. Drinking protein casing meal replacements, consuming big amounts of protein every day, does it make my kidney or liver suffer any kind of damage in the long term? Well, that is a question that really you determine the answer to. First off, are you abusing these products or are you just using them as recommended? Secondly, are you properly hydrating yourself and taking in the necessary amounts of fluid and water to actually flush these products and process them in the way they should be? If all these products are used within recommendation and you're properly hydrated and you don't have any allergy or anything, no, I would say there will be very, very unlikely chance of any kind of damage or anything. That's not just... Yeah,
people, look, if you take in huge quantities of protein, then
if you take 2 Tylenol for every day for a month, you're going to have... It's going to elevate your liver enzymes. So you just got to think about like what you're talking about and, just... Don't be reckless, but no.
Yeah, if you're put it this way, if you're supplementing your protein to a gram per pound of body weight, you're going to be totally fine.
Yeah.
If you're going to do 3 grams per pound, then you're pushing your body's limit, and you need to take that into consideration. Also, everybody's different. So somebody like Dallas will absolutely be able to process more protein than you. But I think it's interesting that when I was coming up in bodybuilding, people would recommend much more protein per pound than now. So when I was growing up, a lot of people would say 2.5, 2, 3, even 3 grams per pound. Whereas now, for somebody like you, you're talking about 900 grams of protein. But nobody does that now.
I've noticed a big change in that trend as well as science evolved and people educated themselves more. Obviously, you learn that more is not more.
Yes, I agree. All right, you can run through them.
I saw a good one about, do you take the same type and amounts of supplements on your fasted lifts as you do your evening lifts that day? Yeah, pretty much. I have 1 to 2 combos I use for my pre-workout. I either take Mental Trigger with Big Noise or I take Total War. Either one for either lift works. So yeah, I mean, pretty much, I'm going to use breach and carbs during, and yeah, it's all going to be. I've learned that I can take Total War twice a day and have no, like, some people say that 2 scoops upsets their stomach, but I think the way I space it out doesn't bother me at all.
I see Alyssa over there asking about the aminos pregnancy friendly. Yes, if they're totally, Darielle takes them, she's pregnant. So the aminos are pregnancy friendly. There's nothing in them that you have to be concerned about. You should always ask your doctor if you're concerned, though, because I am not a doctor. But my wife is pregnant, 8 months pregnant, and she does take the aminos. And her doctor says that they're totally fine.
She's very pregnant.
Yeah, she's very pregnant. She's almost done pregnant. So, that's that. But always ask your doctor.
One cup of pineapple away from baby.
Right, it's true. True.
They say
pineapple's good for baby.
Induces
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Enzymes in there.
But we don't want to hear yet. We still got a month to brew it. We got to brew it up a little bit more. Here's an interesting one. Kashawn Holiday. I actually know him. He's been a friend for forever. If you just started bodybuilding, what bodybuilder would you aspire to be the most? Current bodybuilder.
Which current bodybuilder would I?
That's interesting. So now, if you had to be like somebody that you're currently facing, who would it be?
If I was out in the crowd and I was watching a bodybuilding show, and there was any bodybuilder that I could be like,
that's currently competing.
I would say Dennis Wolf, but he's not currently competing.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Phil.
Phil.
He's the best, right?
He's the best. That's the easy answer.
Who else do you want to be?
That's definitely the easy answer.
Yeah, Phil, Dexter, both very similar physiques, very great physiques. So many good guys out there, man. And I think, for me is when I came up, I never looked at it that way. Like, I never looked at it like, oh, I want to be this guy, because when you look, if you just step back and you look at Phil when he was, before he even started training, say at age 13.
Right.
Look at me at 13. Look at Jay at 13. And you look at us all, you're going to be like, no matter how much they train and what happens, they're not going to look the same as their bodies develop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're just not going to develop the same.
You're not going to be able to look like Phil Heath because you're Dallas.
It doesn't mean I can't be a great bodybuilder. It doesn't mean, and Jay never looked like Phil looked.
No.
Jay was Mr. Olympia.
Much different. Yeah, much different.
But great physique, historical
Dorian
physique.
didn't look like either one of them.
Exactly. So you could go on and on with this. Of all time, Ronnie obviously would be the number one.
Sure.
If you're going to do it, you might as well do it like the king.
I actually think you're more similar if you're comparing to Ronnie than you are to Phil. I think your physique, and obviously there's much big differences between all of them, but you're more Ronnie-esque than Phil-esque.
Yeah, if I had
Ronnie was taller, bigger frame.
If I had to compare myself to somebody, a physique that I've seen developed, maybe Mike Matarazzo or a Paul DeMeo.
Yeah.
Something like that. I could see
those guys never made it quite as far as you're going to or you have. Right?
Well, no, but I see similarities.
I liked Mike Matarazzo a lot. I met him. He guest posed at the NPC several Louisiana shows when I was growing up. I've known Luke and Robin since I've been 13 years old practically, and I met him there, and he was
Mr. Luke used to have a great physique.
Yeah,
he's still very fit, but he used to be
he's an older guy.
You wouldn't believe he's as old as he is.
He's in his 60s.
Yeah,
look at him. You think he's 53, 54, 60 something.
Very fit guy.
I forget where I was going with there. What was I saying?
Mike. Met him at
I don't remember where I was going with Mike.
the shows.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. It wasn't that important. What else you got before we wrap this up? Go at random. You're thinking about it too hard.
Do you think your training style is different than old school bodybuilders? Actually, Alyssa, I would say that my training style is more like old school bodybuilders than current bodybuilders. I would say. When you
I would say.
I train twice a day. I train early in the morning, fasted.
High volume.
High volume. A lot of just getting it done, and I enjoy training. I don't know, and maybe this is just in my head. Maybe it's I don't want to say ego. Maybe it's just a little bit of pride. But I just think when I train, I really, really enjoy it, and I feel like I enjoy training a lot more than what it appears other people do,
Right.
And
other people, it's more of a means to an end.
Yeah.
They're just doing it to achieve a result. There's no actual enjoyment in the process.
Right. I could have, yes. But to answer your question, I think it's very similar. I could have lived back in the day, with Arnold and them, when they just hung out at the gym and
you would
ate, trained.
Went to the beach
all day,
laid out,
smoked a joint, and trained some more.
That's literally what they did. That's literally what they did.
Are you worried about injuries at older IFB? But well, obviously injuries are a worry, but I mean, how much can you really do about it? I'm doing everything that I can do to stay safe. And like I say, I never do a lift that I don't feel comfortable about. I never lift an amount that I don't feel comfortable lifting. If it doesn't feel right, I don't do it. I make every possible precaution I can to be safe while still pushing myself as hard as I can. So, and at the end of the day, I'd rather die all crippled up in a bed and know that I gave everything I had to make a dream come true than live to be, a healthy, agile old man and wonder what if. Yeah, I wish I would have gave a little more.
Because most people, my experience, I've had some experience with older people in general. Most of them talk about what they wish they would have done. And it always seems like there's a lot of regrets.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just part of the deal. But I
never met somebody that was a very successful person that was man, I wish I wouldn't have worked so hard.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, you don't hear that.
Even Ronnie, as beat up as he is,
he doesn't regret it. Yeah, no. He doesn't. You talk to Ronnie, and people would think because Ronnie's had some bad stuff go on. He's I hate to see it, he's halfway crippled basically. Mm-hmm. And I've asked Ronnie, I've talked to Ronnie about it, and Ronnie says the only thing that he regrets is not going for heavier weights.
He wish he would have done more reps.
Wish he would have done more reps. Yeah, literally, that's literally what he says. And if you meet him, you can tell that that's really the case. He's not feeling sorry for himself. He feels very grateful for finding his passion in life and being able to pursue it, like he did.
Bodybuilding is no different than any other sport. I know lots of basketball players that are beat up with injuries, especially football players, fighters. I mean, look how Muhammad Ali was in his last years, how bad he was. But if you give it all to be the best ever, I've never heard somebody that was hurt from it, Now maybe somebody that gave it all and wasn't the best ever, but the guys that were truly the best ever do it, they would have given even more if they had it to give. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they wanted more than anything in the world.
Right.
More than they wanted health. Really.
Yep. I mean, the other option would be to not done it, and obviously if you achieve great things, look, there's sacrifice with every great thing you achieve, whether it be business or or bodybuilding or any sport. There's always sacrifice. Nothing really significant or large comes without a price. And that's just how life is. You want to sit in the corner and accomplish nothing, you can live a very relaxing, boring life. Yeah. But you
might live to be 100.
Yeah. But, you do nothing and risk nothing and gain nothing.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to call today?
Last one. Advice on how to build your social media and make a name for yourself. Honestly, the first thing I would say is you need to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, why would people want to follow me?
Yeah.
Why do people, if you were somebody else, why would you give a shit about what you're doing and why would you want to watch it? Because you got a six-pack? Everybody and their mom's got a six-pack nowadays. It's because you can post pictures of healthy meals. Everybody can do that. So what makes you individual? What makes you special that people would actually want to watch and follow your life?
Yep.
And if you can't answer that question, then the answer is nothing. You
you
got to figure it out. So with me, I learned that very quick that people love to watch me train because I think, you know, humbly speaking, I bring a style of training and a fashion of training that is, if you're under 200 pounds with a six-pack, it doesn't count. Anyways, but like I think like people love to watch me train because I bring something that's been missing from bodybuilding in recent years. So it's like I learned to push that, and that's kind of how I think I've like marketed myself and branded myself as like a hard-working, hard-training bodybuilder. Not that there's many bodybuilders on my level that aren't hardworking, but it's just to a different extreme. And so like that was the answer for me, and then also being young and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you want people to follow you, you've got to give them something to follow. So you need to just be honest with yourself and be like, if I wasn't me, why would I give a dump about what I'm doing, and why would I want to watch it?
Right.
And if you can't answer that question, then you better find a way to answer that question and start promoting it accordingly. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to... I mean, you think about everybody that has a huge following, they're all bringing something unique.
Yeah.
That's what you got to bring. Whether it's a businessman, Dana, you know... again, I always bring him up and I can never think of his name. I feel terrible. The Real World Tactical guy. You know, his training clips are inside. I know.
Yeah.
Like, he'll probably be in Dallas this weekend. But, like, all those people that I'm just sitting here naming people, bodybuilders, you know, fitness celebrities, Steve Cook, whoever, like, people that have huge followings, it's all because they're bringing something that people want to get behind and follow. And it doesn't hurt to be a good person. You know, it doesn't hurt to be a nice person. People don't like a-holes.
I think that people need to focus on something really micro. So if there's something different about you or something you're passionate about, you should focus some or most of your social media on that. So like if somebody told me, like if I'm talking to somebody and I said, what do you really love? And they love dogs.
Yeah.
You should focus a lot. It sounds silly, but you need to have some kind of gimmick or focus to your stuff. Because why else? What makes you different than everybody
Absolutely.
else? So and that's something that
Perfect example of that is Roxy. That's with us.
Oh yeah. She
does the Comic-Con stuff.
Very unique. Yeah,
that's something that like nobody else does. And Roxy is very. She's very fit. She's very pretty. But there's a million fit, pretty girls in the world with Instagrams.
Right.
But she's grown a really good following because she does something very unique and she promotes it.
Right.
So and it's genuine. It's not fake. It's who she is. It's
Right.
what she enjoys. And it's something that, you know, that makes her unique and special. So we all have that. It's just about finding it, promoting it, and using it to your benefit.
Yep. I think that is a great explanation, and I think that is definitely the case. You can't just be one of these anonymous dudes or chicks that have a good physique and think that you're going to make a name for yourself by that. It needs to be more.
I got a six-pack, follow me. Nobody gives a shit.
No, there's a million other people like that.
Right.
So you have to have something more than that, especially if you want to get really... If you really want to do well, if that's important to you, you know?
Yep.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate everybody checking us out. This happens Tuesdays at 11-ish, 11 Eastern Standard Time every week. Now, we do, if we're traveling or not available, it could potentially get moved or canceled for a week, but we've been really good 3 weeks in a row, right?
Hey.
So we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. It can also be found on YouTube after the fact. I try to have Tony edit it and put it on YouTube for you guys who miss it or don't see it on Facebook. And so every week it will also be available there. So
yeah, buddy.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Until next week, Dallas and Aaron out.
We're out here. Oh, and it's leg day.
Oh, you're ready, huh?
I'm gonna try to take some flex.
Oh yeah.